Good morning, everybody. Wishing you all a good Shabbos. I want to share something from the Torah portion of the week and a beautiful story that happened this week. So, very famously, the 10 plagues begin in this week's Parsha, and the first plague is that the Nile River is turned into blood. And how does that happen? God says to Aaron, take a staff and hit the river, and it'll turn into blood. And the commentaries all wonder, why is Aaron charged with the performance, the carrying out of this particular plague, and not Moses like he is with all the other plagues? And the answer is simple but beautiful. And that is that how was this plague going to be brought about? By taking a staff and hitting the Nile River. And that was going to bring out the blood. The problem is that Moses, as a little baby, was saved. His life was saved by the Nile River. And it's not appropriate for him to take a stick and hit the Nile when it saved his life. And from there we see the importance of hakarat hatov, appreciation, gratitude. But the problem is, do you think the Nile River was really going to be upset if Moses took the stick and hit it? The Nile River's a river. It doesn't have any feelings or emotions. And the answer is, of course not. It's not about the river. It's about Moses. Moses has to understand and recognize that he can't hit the river because the river saved his life. And even though the river has no feelings whatsoever, it's not about the river. It's about Moses' acquisition of the attribute of gratitude. But it goes even further. And this is where my story comes in. What was the Nile River doing when it saved Moses' life? It was doing exactly what a river is supposed to do. It was floating things, right? They put the basket on the river, and like all rivers do, it floated the basket. The river was doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The river wasn't going out of its way for Moses, didn't do anything unusual or unexpected. It just did exactly what it's supposed to do, acted like a river. And there you see another insight about gratitude. And that is, we have to have gratitude towards people even when they're just doing their job. You know, someone's working at the checkout counter at the Jewel, and you could say, well, that's their job. They're getting paid to do it. So why do I have to have gratitude towards them? They're just doing their job. And we learn from here, no, even when someone's just doing their job, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They may even be getting paid to do what they're doing. If they're helping us and benefiting us in some way, we have to have gratitude towards them. And that's what I wanted to share with you that happened this week. So Levi and my son Levi and his soldiers that are in the Givati unit in the southern border, guarding the Gaza border, they were sent out to a kibbutz to guard this kibbutz that's literally right on the Gaza border. I was there, I'll tell you the story, I was there, I saw it. You can see Gaza through the fence. It's kind of intense. Anyway, they're there, and they're doing nothing, but they're just there, they're guarding. So they were supposed to come home for Shabbos, but something happened and they are requiring them to stay there. The problem is that it's a totally secular kibbutz. It's a non-religious kibbutz. And you have these 5 religious soldiers that are now there guarding the kibbutz, and they're going to have to spend Shabbat there, and they have no food. So I said, okay, you know what? It's not so big. It's not so far. It's not a big deal. I'll take Yosef. We'll drive down there. We'll bring them some food. So I put on, we have a chat, a WhatsApp chat. It's called the Remote Men's Chat. That's the name of our neighborhood, Remote. And I put on the chat, hey, I'm going down to the border to bring some food to my son and the other soldiers down there. If anybody wants to send something. Well, guess what? I ended up with a car full of kugels, shepherd's pie, cakes, soups, rice, chicken, you name it. I had a full car. Everybody in the neighborhood wanted to send something down to those boys to help them enjoy their Shabbos while they're on duty. So Yosef and I got in the car. We drove down there yesterday. We brought the soldiers. I'll put a picture on the chat. It was beautiful. They were so happy. We brought them a football so they had something to do on Shabbos. And it was really, really special and beautiful, and it said a lot about the community. But what it made me realize is that people here could say, people could have an attitude here that, hey, look, these soldiers are just doing their job. Everyone has to go in the army in Israel. They're not doing anything special. They're doing what they're responsible. And if they don't do it, they're going to get in trouble. They're going to go to jail. Who knows what's going to happen if they disobey orders. So they're just doing their job. I don't have to thank them. I don't have to have gratitude towards them. But everybody knows that that's not true. The gratitude, the appreciation, the recognition for what these boys are doing, even though it's their job, and even though every Israeli goes to the army, is still incredible, and it's beautiful, and it's fundamental, and that's a very important lesson that we learn from this Parsha, something to think about, up our game when it comes to gratitude. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom from Yerushalayim. Good Shabbos.